Hello.
Hi.
So it is Saturday.
It is indeed, and the votes have been cast. We won't be dancing this week, so next week is when you will see the fruits of your votes.
Possibly.
But
That's if I can get it done.
The winner is drumroll. Come on, drumroll. Popey Po!
I just screwed up the
You
camera.
did! Good job! Okay.
Oh my gosh, motion sickness. What you doing?
There we go. How's that? You good?
Yes, I will be dancing to Popey Po. Which, that's fine with me because I kind of wanted to learn it anyway. As weird as that sounds. I actually really like that song. There's two different versions of it though. I don't know if I probably danced to the...
I think it's the Gakupo one you like, right?
Yeah, probably that one. I don't know if I could dance to like the Miku one. But
Really
if
like
that's what
Miku
comes
chorus.
down to, I would, regardless. Aside from that, other questions we had. Cheesecake, yes or no? I freaking love cheesecake.
Cheesecake is like God spit and angels touched it and presented it to us as a gift.
That makes me not want it.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Anyways, I like putting cheesecake in my ice cream.
Cheesecake's just good. I get an entire little cake of it and eat it by myself with a fork. I don't even cut it. It's just a fork eating.
I know, I'm like, I don't even eat cheesecake with a fork. I take a piece out of the pan and I just like eat it like pizza. I'm like, cheesecake, yeah.
God damn it, dog, get down.
Yeah, he's in the house again.
He's gotten into this really bad habit of just walking up on your lap like he's doing right now.
You're not a lap dog, dude.
This is what happens when you let Shion bring dogs home.
Yeah.
You're not allowed in the castle. I don't know why Sayx hasn't kicked you out, even though you're kind of cute.
I don't think that he's noticed yet.
He fits in with the door. You think he'd stand out against all the walls?
Well, I think he's been being kept in a room.
Did someone teach you how to portal? Portal a dippy dog.
Speaking of that, portaling and the whole Dippy Dog thing. That's apparently what Goofy's name was originally supposed to be, was Dippy Dog.
The more you know.
But, don't drool all over my pants, gross, dude.
Okay.
But, the portaling thing, we got asked, yeah, it is a convenient way to travel, but do we ever end up in the wrong place?
Get off. Yes, sometimes it is. When you first do it, it kind of like, I'm good at it now. I don't really make mistakes unless I'm drunk, and then I make many mistakes, portaling being one of the many long lists of mistakes. But when you're first starting it, you could probably tell you, because he remembers it more recently, probably. It is sometimes hard.
You kind of have to know where you're going before you just open one. Otherwise, yeah, you will end up in a really random-ass place.
Like, you really have to think about it. Like a really good example, for those of you who have seen the movie Jumper, when he wants to jump somewhere else in the world, he has to be looking at a picture of the place he wants to go or touching the picture, so he has an idea in his mind of where he can go.
Yeah.
See, with us, we don't have pictures, though. So we have to really picture it in our heads. Like, I want to go to the beach. Well, you better figure out which fucking beach you want to go to, because the portal will open it up to, like, I don't know, the default beach? I don't really know. It will send you to a beach, and it is a beach to try and leave, because you don't know where you are.
Not to mention, when we do get set out on missions, the portal's already set up for us to go where we're supposed to be going. So it's not like that one's just kind of a random thing. I would be really upset if Sykes placed one and decided to just send me somewhere random just because he hates me.
He's done that. But
probably to you because of your whole history.
I don't know. Think of the portals as like an internet address. When you're typing in an address, you get one letter wrong, you're gonna go somewhere completely different.
Oh yeah. Like blackberry.com.
Yeah, like blackberry.com.
Make sure you're spelling it as the word berry, like the fruit.
Mm-hmm. At least if you're trying to get to the phone site, like a BlackBerry phone, make sure you type berry with an E and not an A. If you type it with an A, you will see blackberry, and he will not leave your mind for a very, very long time.
Well, that is if it's still there. I mean, this was years ago.
I don't know. I haven't checked it since. I was scarred once bitten, twice shy.
Yeah.
What else are we doing today?
I have to think about that for a second.
I think we got a slew of questions from one person,
Which we
but
will
I
answer
think
all
we're
at
gonna answer a
once.
couple of them every video. So
Yeah,
then, you know, you're not
that'd be
just
better.
like put out in one shot.
I know one of them was, what is your favorite word? I don't know what my favorite word is. I've never actually really thought of my favorite word. I know that when I'm playing Apples to Apples, I don't know if you've ever played that game before, but if you ever have me being the one that's judging it, if you put down like mashed potatoes or like creamed corn, I'm always gonna choose it.
My favorite word's defenestrate. It is the act of throwing someone or something out of a window. So next time when you're in school or college or home or with your friends or whatever, and someone says something just off color enough to piss you off, be like, "You're lucky we're outside. I'd defenestrate you if we weren't." And then they'll be like, "Dude, what the fuck?" And you'll be like, "Oh, you don't know what that means. Oh, I'm sorry. Look it up."
Oh my gosh.
Just like that.
And
By
then
the way, I put my hair in a ponytail. As per vote. Someone else. Kind of a really shitty ponytail, but it's in a ponytail. What do you think?
like, come here. You can turn around now. I think it looks silly.
I think it'll look more like Reno with it.
A little bit. Just a little bit. But yeah. Another thing was what turns us on. I don't know if I've ever been asked this before. Like, I feel that I have been, but I could be wrong. Lots of weird things that I don't know if I want to discuss.
Him naked.
That's funny because you naked doesn't turn me on.
It's okay. My cock in your ass turns you on.
Yeah. Can't argue with that.
My cock in your mouth turns you on.
Can't argue with that either.
My cock slapping you on the face like this turns you on.
Okay, stop.
It does.
Okay, enough. They get it, I think.
No, to be perfectly honest, like, before you actually get into full-blown sex, what turns me on is ears. If you fuck with my ears, that turns me on. It's an erogenous zone for me.
Likes it when you whisper things in his ears too, even if it doesn't make any sense.
I know, you could just totally whisper, like, sweet nothings, sweet nothings, sweet nothings. And I boner and be like, hey, let's play. They said something sexy, let's play.
Like, thinking about your dick talking is really weird.
Yeah, I know.
Though I'm pretty sure it does have a mind of its own.
Gets me into all kinds of trouble. Stupid bastard.
Yeah. Anyways, with that said, there's a more serious question too.
Let me get the exact question here. Question. I get bullied because I like the same gender as me. How did you guys deal with it when it happened to you? It might help me find a way. I'm assuming this is out of character. Or maybe it's in character. Either way, the advice would still be the same. People are going to tell you shit that is mean, hurtful, terrible, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, they're there, and that's what they're going to do. The best way to combat that is, what I learned to do anyway, is to let it roll off. Like, you ever seen water land on like a duck's back, you know, after they pop up from being underwater? It just beads and rolls off. That's what you have to do with all the shit that anyone gives you. If you don't let it hurt you, they can't use it against you. Yeah, it hurts on the inside, but as long as you don't let it show them that it hurts you, eventually they will stop because they see that it's not affecting you. And it sucks to deal with that inside. As for family members with not liking the fact that you like the same gender, that's a little different because they're more connected to you and they'll know that it secretly bothers you, whether you say it or not. My family hates the fact that she is my fiance, hates it.
My family doesn't
They don't really
care.
make a huge, really blatant point about it every time we speak, but there are definite undertones, hints. Like I said, my mother's constantly saying, well, this guy's really cute, and things like that. So it's a little harder to deal with that. I understand. And if that is what you're going through, I am so sorry.
Like also, that stuff aside, it really took us a long time to be together. We've known each other for 11 years, and it took her destroying one of my video games and me having to bitch her out about it and give me money back to buy another game that didn't get purchased for me until like 2 years ago because we couldn't find it. Totally unrelated, but it took from that point on being friends, realizing that we cared about each other, both of us going through terrible relationships, whether it be one or two or whatever.
Being terrified to say anything because of what other people would think.
And then on top of it, even me just being scared to get out of the relationship because the person that I was with was so controlling, and being able to finally take that step to say that I loved someone else and that someone is the same gender as I am, even if we don't feel that it's the proper gender to begin with, you know. But yeah, it took a long time to do so. We finally started dating in 2009, and we've known each other since like 2001. So it's been a long time, and it was through a lot of pain, you know, tormenting, teasing, and everything. But you just have to keep your head up. Like, you really just have to know what you want and know that no matter what, you are always just going to be you, and that it shouldn't matter what anybody else thinks about that. As long as you're happy, then you just ignore everybody else. Do what you think is right. Because when it comes down to it, you'll be a lot happier that way. And eventually, things like that work themselves out. I mean, it took us, like I said, it took us years to do so. It took us 7 years to figure it out, but it has still worked out. And the last 4 years of my life have been the best 4 years of my life, even though I've been through a lot of hardships regardless.
I know coming out to close friends and family can be absolutely terrifying. Like, don't let anybody tell you different. It is fucking terrifying, especially if they've never made any kind of hint that they would accept someone like that. Especially if your family and or friends have said things like, oh man, why can't gay people just keep it to themselves? Well, shit, now I'm not going to say anything at all. You know? It's nerve-wracking, it's terrifying, it's physically sick-inducing. I know, like, when I first, like, we'd been dating, we weren't in the same city, but she broke up with her ex, and I was like, well, I'll just say it. I admitted everything out to her, and I was terrified she, would reject me, but beside the point, we started dating that then. And I was living with my mother at the time, and I was so terrified because she was coming to stay with me when I got my own apartment. She was coming to stay with me. I was so terrified that I was going to have to come out to my family, that I was getting sick. I was throwing up every day. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't go do anything. I started smoking again to try and calm myself down because nothing was helping. I didn't have health insurance. I couldn't go to the doctor. All of it was from the related stress of everyone's going to hate me because of who I am, and it's nothing I could change. I can't change who I love. I can't change what I like. Yeah, you can hide it. I learned pretty damn well how to hide it. I'm sure you have too. And while in a perfect world, you should just be able to say, I like women, and I'm a woman. I like men, and I'm a man. I am a woman, and I like men and women. I'm a man, and I like women and men.
Or in my case, I like you because you're a great person.
Yeah. Or I like anyone based on your personality, whether you're a person, a dog, or a potato. If you have the personality that appeals to me, that shares intellectually with me, that loves and cares about me like I love and care about them, so be it. In an ideal world, love shouldn't matter. In an ideal world, bullying and suicide over gender equality should never happen. Over sexual orientation should never happen. Unfortunately, we live in a vastly unperfect world. And while I want to say that, we're engaged and, now that we've been accepted by some people, that it's okay, and that I don't introduce myself as someone who is engaged to a girl.
I don't either. Unless somebody
We
avidly
both
asks
just
me.
started a job, and I mean, we sit next to each other. Luckily, we work at the same hours and everything. We sit next to each other. We'll talk to each other, and people are like, "Wow, you guys are really close." Yeah, we're friends, best friends.
Yeah, unless somebody like avidly asks me or like probes it, like the question out of me. As bad as it is, I won't say anything about it because it's not that I don't exactly like think that people are going to like just not accept me for it. It's just the fact that so many people haven't accepted me for it that it's just really hard to, especially in like a professional environment. And
Yes.
I'm terrified to know that if we do get married, that they're going to get angry with us and want to fire one of us or something because of that, because we're married.
Yeah, it's not that we are ashamed of who we are. That is not the case at all. But it's just that we've been through the places where you get the glares, the dirty looks, the scowls. You even get the comments. That's so gross.
Even when we
That's so
like,
wrong. It's so perverted. God didn't make you that way.
yeah, and even when we were in high school, we weren't even dating. We were getting rumors started about us, and the whole school was against us on it. They wouldn't stand up for us. Technically, I mean, in all actuality, we could have sued the hell out of them for it, especially if we would have been dating. But pretty much, we went with it. We graduated. We got our own lives, and we've been a lot happier since then.
But, I mean, that was kind of off topic for what I was saying. But,
Sorry, it just came to mind.
like I said, it's not that we're not proud of it. It's just the fact that we've gotten all those things that it would be really stupid just to dive headlong into something with the prospect that is what's going to come out again. If someone really asks, "Are you two dating?" Yes. Yes, we are. But on a basic introduction, "Oh, who's this?" "This is my friend." Because too many times have I been asked, "Oh, who's that?" "This is my girlfriend." "Oh. Well, how long have you been dating?" 4 years. "Oh, wow, that's a long time." Like, everyone expects us to fail. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie to you, any of you. But all I can say is be strong in yourself. That if you can do anything, be strong in yourself. Don't let anyone, what they say, actually drag you down. Yes, it hurts, and it will hurt. It will hurt for a very long time. The insults, the bullies, the making fun of, the jabs, the scowls, the looks, the anonymous messages, or face-to-face words. They will always hurt. I've gotten a pretty thick callus around my feelings now. That stuff like that really doesn't hurt me much anymore. But if I spent the time to analyze everything anyone's ever said to me, I would crumble. I would fall into a very, very deep and dark place. I've been there, and I never want to go back. I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
I wouldn't even wish that on like my worst enemy.
But one of the only ways I found to be able to combat that was to start building walls around my feelings, not letting things affect me. I understand in some psychiatric subconscious level that's probably not that good, but becoming somewhat emotionally disattached from things helped out so much. I don't really recommend it. My father died last year. I cried once for about, I don't know, like 20 minutes.
Something
And
like
I
that.
have not felt any emotion about it since. And I know I should. One of my friends from high school's little brothers committed suicide. I felt nothing at all. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. To block off your emotions to stop from being hurt will also block it off from other things that you need them for. So honestly, the best advice that I have for you is to be strong in yourself. Believe in yourself even when no one else does. You are you because that's how you are. Not because that's how someone pushed a button and said, yep, you're going to be this way. Society can try and mold you all they want, but you're not clay. You're a human being. You know, take life by the horns. Own it. If you take all the things that they say about you and you own them, like, yeah, you're a fucking lesbian. Yeah, I am. What do you want to do about it? I mean, it's tough starting out that way, but that is probably the best way to do it. Bullying back is never the solution, ever. As much as it would feel good, bullying back is never the solution. It makes it worse, and then the bullying will continue. This really turned into a long, drawn-out answer part.
A little bit. It was needed though.
I was just really passionate about that. I really hate it that the LGBT community cannot be themselves at all.
I feel that way for any community that isn't normal.
Like the furry community, they get so much shit. They get so much shit.
I mean, even if you're like big into a fandom, like
you know,
anything, whether it be people who obsess over Doctor Who or My Little Pony or
even Akuroku
whatever.
Fans. We're a fan of Akuroku, but I mean, there's different varying degrees of Akuroku. As soon as you hear, hey, they're Akuroku fans. Oh, they're slobbering, drooling fangirls with no grammar or anything else.
Yeah, the best way to stop all that is, for anything, the advice I give to anybody, if you just, as long as you be yourself, but remember that, you do have, some responsibilities, and there are public standards and whatnot, and there are a lot of people that, as bad as it's going to be for me to say, there are people who ruin it for other people just because of the way they act, and by people who do break laws or, vandalize, things like that. I know that it's happened with a lot of groups, whether they be political or, groups based about, gender or, sexual orientation or even fandoms. There's always going to be people in there that ruin it. Best way to help people get over it, even though it's probably never going to be an issue that's going to be solved in anything, is to just, be on your best behavior. And it helps a lot.
Yep.
But
treat others as you would be treated. That is the rule anyone in the world should always follow. Treat others how you would like to be treated. If we lived in a perfect world, that would be enforced. I don't even think it would have to be enforced. It would just happen.
But anyways, this is
getting
quite a bit long,
and a half minutes.
And if you haven't watched the whole video, I really don't blame you.
Yeah.
Before I turn this off, though, on another note, I completely boycott the series Heroes of Cosplay.
Yeah. For any of you who watched that, or if you haven't, you should look it up on YouTube. Not that the whole thing was terrible, but it put cosplayers in a very bad light. There's a
I know that there
are
petitions
on the internet
online
for electronic signatures to either get it changed or taken off the air. It puts cosplayers in such a terrible light, and it doesn't address cross-playing. It only addressed girls mostly. There was a few guys, but it didn't focus on them at all. And the girls that it did focus on were, not that there's anything wrong with it, but it focused on, like,
pretty much showing off your boobs or other parts of yourself.
And sexy cosplays.
Because the people that produced the show have said it themselves. They want flashy, sexy cosplays.
Yeah.
Anyways,
so if I were you, I would check it out and look for that electronic petition. And
I know there's one on.
Hell out of it.
There's been one going around Facebook and one going around Tumblr. I'm not sure if there is anywhere else. There's probably one on Reddit or something as well. But anyways, we do need to go because this video has gotten quite long.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
We will see you next week.
Peace.